How to do, y'all? Tables here. So I've been I'm working on a few projects on Path of Exile right now. Right, we got the zombie, the Mancer, which is done. And then I have my carrion golem, and then I want to do a full breakdown of like a generic minion leveling tree, and then you can just switch to whatever you want to, whatever builds, minion build suits you. Once you hit maps, you get established and stuff like that. I just want to, I like the idea of having like a generic minion build that you can just do, and for the most part, most minion builds when they hit maps, um, they're all pretty similar for the most part. So I just think it'd be a fun idea just to kind of streamline the process for anyone that wants to watch and is doesn't know a ton about minions and stuff. I think it'd be a really good video. And then we have Project Cast on Crit League Start. My goal is to be able to take Cast on Crit as soon as we hit 38 and we do our first Ascendency on Shadow, we are officially Cast on Crit. So I have a bunch of footage recorded. We're killing Piety. We're level 38, level 40, level 42. And I'm just kind of showing you guys how the build is leveling as soon as you can get cast on crit, right? So there's some caveats. I just want to be upfront. And this is the tree as it's laid out so far. Our life is fairly low. We got a pretty decent amount of evasion. We have 6 power charges, 100% spell crit, 100% melee crit, right? With an effective hit crit chance of 98. Now, obviously, that's full. That is full power charges with a diamond flask and all that good stuff. The diamond flask only gives us about 8%. You could honestly like starting out. The diamond flask is massive, huge, must have. You'll get it in Act 5. And getting this one thing changes the entire setup and really makes everything a lot easier. So yeah, I mean, we're really just focusing hard on a little bit of cold damage, but mostly scaling our crit. And we're getting some extra damage through the means of, if I can go to my skills, through the means of Herald of Ice, which is pretty massive. Honestly, it's amazing. Skitterbots and Precision to kind of secure our accuracy. There are going to be some minor changes. Like I don't think we need this. This is just accuracy, and we're going to be. I think we should be at 100% chance to hit. Where are we at? Cyclone. Where's my hit chance? Hit chance. Oh, actually, we do need this. As a matter of fact, how much do we need? We need pretty much the whole fucking thing. Never mind. I'm dumb as hell. Forget what I just said. We're not going to change a damn thing. This is the way it's going to be. Armor is non-existent, obviously. Lots of evasion, pretty decent amount of health, and a pretty decent amount of energy shield. Call it probably like 4K. A little under 4K. Yeah. Somewhere like 3,900 effective health, which is, good enough for maps. Our Ascendency, first and foremost, unstable infusion. It's what kind of helps us ramp, and it's instant. It's instant. Six power charges total. That we're probably gonna go for ambush and assassinate, but we may end up going deadly infusion, just to really secure some more crit. And then we'll definitely be going Mistwalker last. I definitely want to do Mistwalker because we are going to be running Cyclone with this setup. And while the damage from opportunistic is very nice, God, elusive is just too good. We get way too much out of it. Defensively wise and just movement speed. Everything about it is really just amazing. So this is the setup right now. Very, very cut and dry, very simple. About 325,000 DPS as soon as you hit maps. I don't know if that's going to be enough. To be honest, I'm not. We're right on the Nats hair. 6.06 is what we need with no cooldown reduction. And then our trigger rate for Ice Nova is looking to be about 5.38. So our crit is secured. Now we just need to scale our damage. And there's some ways that we can do that. I have some Opal rings, but realistically, you're gonna want an Elder ring, most likely, which are going to be fairly expensive on League Start, I think. So I'm trying to cut down on like really insane gear, and really trying to focus in on like what it's really going to be like. What it's actually going to be like on League Start, right? So I'm sorry, I had Diamond Flask undone. We're at 364,000. And this is level 75, right? So level 75 is white maps, early yellow, which I think is more than doable. To be honest, with as much evasion as we have, Ghost Dance, I wanted to fit in Soul Thief, but it just really wasn't on the table. I don't really want to drop any more damage. I already don't think we have enough damage to hit white maps, but that's just me. I don't know. I've never leveled anything like this, and I've never played anything like this in maps. So, it's hard for me to say exactly how much damage I'm going to need, right? So this is like my first iteration of Cast on Crit League Start. I'm going to go ahead and end it here because we're already 7 fucking minutes. Oh my gosh, this might be kind of a long video. In the next video, I'll go more in depth on how Cast on Crit works. Or I may end up just referring to you guys to another YouTuber who just got done with a Forbidden Rank Cast on Crit, and he does an amazing job explaining Cast on Crit. This project was actually a project from a previous league that I ended up kind of stopping because life got in the way and I couldn't really complete it. And so now we're back at it. And so now this is the next, evolution of it. So I'm gonna end it here. And then we'll cut to some footage of just hitting 38 and then some footage of trying out Castball channeling. So you guys can see how both of those work. As soon as you hit 38, spoiler, it's not that great. But you can see the footage anyway, so you can see it for your own eyes. And then we get our Ascendency, and then really everything starts to change from there, right? I don't think I have footage of me with the Diamond Flask, but we're at like 64% crit in X6 with the Diamond Flask. And it's smooth as butter, honestly. 64% chance, that's huge. X6, massive, right? And almost equal that of spell critical, right? So we're doing big damage, and it's only going to get better. So I'll leave the footage with you guys. There's a bunch of little boss kills within the axe, so you guys can see how bad it is before you get your Ascendency, and how much more improved it is after your Ascendency, right? The Ascendency plays a massive role in your efforts to fully make the switch in Act 4 to Cast on Crit, right? And I explained in the video some things that I don't like about switching builds. That once you hit match, you switch a build, or you start using the skill that you were originally intended to use, but you can't use it because the leveling is garbage, or it's just not viable, or you don't have the gear. Or I hate that shit. I just I explained in one of the footages that I just like to take a skill. This is what I want to do, and I want to do it as soon as I can possibly do it. So that's what this project is about. If you want to roll Cast on Crit, you want to league start it, I'm trying to figure out a way for you to do that. So anyways, I'm done. We're 10, 11 fucking minutes now. God dang it. Cutting it here. I think the best option is probably to wait till we get a Diamond Flask. right? And then run cast while channeling in the meantime, which is what we're gonna try here right now after this pack. So I'm gonna go recolor my chest piece, and then we'll try to cast on channeling until we can get our crit up a little bit more. Okay, we are back with cast while channeling, and we'll see if this is any more improved. And honestly, it looks like it is. We're actually, you know, the way Ice Nova works is, you know, when you chill an enemy, you deal essentially just increased flat damage, and flat damage for us is pretty big. Now, killing yellow, like killing rares, is a little bit of a tedious process, but we're also not super leveled up on our gems right now. So this will improve, and I went with a claw instead of a dagger, just for the extra health regen, because I figured we were gonna need it, and it turns out that we did actually need it. And obviously there's a bit of a mana flask spam, but it's not like, as long as you're killing like reliably, it's really not that big a deal. And for the most part, most people who are just kind of like going through the acts, they're not specifically stopping to kill a bunch of rares, for the most part. And you know, as we level the cast while channeling, it'll go off even more. I think we're proccing at about 0.45 right now. So honestly, this works. It's not the best, and unfortunately, like, while you are doing cast while channeling, you know, you're dealing 30% less damage. So this is essentially what it's gonna look like starting out. Like, you just hit 38, no diamond flask, you're pretty much just blow and go. Got it, put it on, and now you're cruising. Right, so it's not that bad, especially with the cast while channeling. And then once we can get like just a natural like 40% crit on our Cyclone, then it'll be considerably better, especially once we hit power charge. You know, 4 power charges. We still have another power charge. Well, really 2 more power charges to get, because of our Ascendency, of course. And we're actually going to be coming up here to get this power charge right here. So with our Ascendency, our Ascendency is going to be huge. So we probably don't need to do power charge on critical, which is more or less why I went Shadow. So I think once we get our unstable infusion passive, that's really gonna make the build shine. And then I think once you do that, so I mean, realistically, I would do my Ascendancy with Eye of Winter, and then I would switch to CoC, right? Because it's just going to be so much more reliable, right? And by that time, you're going to have. So we have 4 right now, right? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives me a minimum. Yeah, so 4, 5, and then our last one will come from our Ascendancy. So that's 6 power charges. So all you gotta do is do a little bit of ramp. Once you crit, you'll more or less get a power charge 20% of the time. Or excuse me, 10% of the time. Anytime you don't crit, so it just ramps like so fast. And so once you get to that point, I think everything will be a lot smoother. But just getting to that point is probably the hardest hurdle. Getting from Act 1 to Act 4 plus your Ascendancy, that's the hardest part. Once you get to that, once you get past that, easy breezy. So I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to take care of my Ascendancy, and then we'll revisit Cast on Crit after the Ascendancy, Unstable Infusion, and we'll see if we are better off than what we were. Because at that point, we'll have 6 power charges instead of 4, somewhere around 60% crit instead of 40, and we should be overall doing a lot more damage. So I'm going to end it here. I'll see you guys here in now. Okay, we are back with our Ascendency, and we ended up getting or unstable infusion. So when we're not critting, we're gonna get a power charge. When we are critting, we're still gonna get a power charge. Now we got about 5 mother freaking power charge. We're at 34% chance to crit right now. I should probably turn my buffs on. We are at pretty much max. And that's about 50% chance to crit. It's not so bad. That extra maximum power charge really just goes a long way. Now we are also. I did pick up this, which is a global crit strike, 50% copper crit with a crit mod, a low one, but a crit mod nonetheless. And that's just really to help get the build online. We also got a little bit of spell crit going on. Now, ideally, I would really like to have some movement speed boots, like big time. But now we're not going to have any issues, like at all, keeping our crit up. We're at pretty much 50% crit now. Things are looking bueno. We're just kind of breezing through these little maps right here. The only thing I'm worried about is like keeping my health up, which is really why I wanted to use the claw. But you see, we're not doing like, it's not awful damage on these like unique guys. Yeah, it could be better, but like I said, this will obviously get better with time. It's just a matter of time of getting that crit up, and the more crit you get by Act 7, I feel like we're gonna be just pretty much blowing and going on these levels. So I think we're on our way to Piety right now. So you guys got a little bit of a taste of kind of what we can do with cast on crit, like pretty much right off the bat. Having these spell crit nodes helps a ton with our damage. Definitely, because let me make sure that keep our power charges. Let me get my power charges back, and then we'll look at what our crit is for Ice Nova. We're at about 50% right now, and Ice Nova's crit is 56%. So we're doing about equal crit on each. So that that works out really well for us. And the Herald of Ice is just doing like big fucking work for us, like huge work. Now, when our single target is like leaves a lot to be desired right now, but we're gonna end up scaling that with some more crit multi, especially in the tree. So as long as we're not getting like mega slowed or stunned or anything like that, for the most part, it seems to be clearing just fine. Woo, except for that right there. Oh my gosh, bro! What the fuck? I should probably get this, huh? And another good thing is mana's not really that big of an issue, just because of the fact that we're not critting 100% of the time, so that really kind of saves our butt on our mana. Now that's gonna change, obviously, in a pretty big way. But we are gonna end up taking Mind Drinker, which should pretty much negate all of our mana issues completely for any kind of map that we wanted. Coupled with the claw, I think we'll be set up for some pretty good success. Is after our first Ascendency, we got our Diamond Flask. We're level 45, 6 power charges. We're like a little over 60% crit with all of our power charges. And then we've added in, we got all of our stuff itemized. Now, this is a bit unethical, but, at this point, I'm just testing everything. So we have our Vortex set up with Hypothermia, Bone Chill, and Arcane Soige. Which is probably not going to proc right now because I accidentally over-leveled it. But whatever. Hydra Spear for single target. Herald of Ice, Summon Skitterbots, and Precision. Grace will be later. And we're just going to lazy click if it casts when damage taken for our steel skin because I want to lazy click vortex, and we're gonna go through and see how this whole thing performs, and maybe we end up doing pretty decent. And once we get to the end, we'll go ahead and do the innocence fight as well. The only thing I'm lacking is like movement speed, and it is actually awful. Like legitimately just wretched how slow I am. Now I'm also considering not going cost freeze malice in the end game and really focusing hard on like a really strong just claw setup, I guess, more or less. And that's mainly because using a claw or a dagger might be more beneficial because we have access to whirling blades at that point, right? So that would be really nice, especially for movement if we're trying to zoom at the end of the day. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I haven't fully decided like the route that I want to go on everything. I'm hitting the wrong button. I'm literally not even hitting my diamond flats like an idiot. So things seem to be a bit more improved with the vortex setup, which is quite lovely. Even like a little bit of added damage across the board is, you know, a good thing. It still takes us a little while to kill rares. It just kind of depends on how much we end up proccing, right? But for the most part, you know, I feel like the build's more or less online. Absolutely fuck burning ground. Holy moly. If you can get a decent pair of movement speed boots, it's really going to be a game changer for you, like while you level. We'll see how we do with the innocence fight, which is, you know, a multi-stage fight more or less. Where do I want to put this? Oh yeah, we were gonna go up and get this crit up here. So we're level 45. We're pretty much fully ready to go for a cast on crit. And I'm assuming that Hydra is like actually working. Like it should be like providing exposure. It should be. And so far, I mean, honestly, it feels pretty solid. And we have really terrible gear. I think the main hard part will be like getting all the quad links that you need, right? You're gonna need 3 of them. Well, you don't. Yeah, well, necessary 2. You're gonna at least have to have 2. But once you get your 2, you're pretty much set to go. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! All right, we're good. I knew I wasn't gonna die. I mean, this whole boss fight is going way better than I expected it to go. I mean, things are going quite well. We're not really having the mana flat spam too hard, but we are a little bit. We're running Bone Chill, so that helps a lot. I feel like Hydrosphere is helping a crap ton with the single target. And I think once we get our crit up, I mean, I think this is like gonna end up working out. I think the hardest part actually is gonna be what's the best way to What's going to be the best way to level from Max 1 to 5? And you know, I don't know if Eye of Winter is really truly the way that you know to go. I think it might be Arc or something like that, where we do a bit of Herald of Thunder and a bit of Herald of Ice, kind of a situation. But that remains to be seen. I want to get the guy. I want to get the character to maps first, and I want to detail like how all the acts are going. But for the most part, at level 45, I feel like I'm like set and ready to go. I feel like I can pretty much go through Act 5 unabated and really not have to worry about anything. Like, I'm not even using my Diamond Flask right now, just because I'm being a tad bit lazy, which I really shouldn't be for the purpose of the video. But you know, we are, and that's okay. Oh no. Oh no, please don't. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, our health is kind of shit, admittedly. For this stage of the game, we should be like 1600 HP minimum. Okay, so that really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. Level 45, 6 power charges. You know, that's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. 55% crit on Cyclone. 60 something, like 64, I think, with Diamond Flask. Very, very pleased. And it doesn't even, it really doesn't take all that much setup. Like, the only thing that I would really, truly recommend is, you know, running a dagger or claw with crit. Yeah, like, you know, a critical strike chance mod would be best. You don't really want multiplier. You want to scale your crit first, your actual melee crit first. That's what's going to pump your damage out early on. And then, honestly, I say dump Arcane Surge and just go Whirling Blades. Just for the extra movement, right? At least in my eyes. I'm eating strawberries, and this strawberry is disgustingly bad. That is so disappointing. All right, so that's it. That's the test. We'll do a new video in a couple days. And hopefully we progress through the acts, maybe like Act 8, Act 9. You guys will get a chance to see the process, my thoughts on it, you know, my decision making, where our crit is ending up. And we'll just go from there. So, sorry for the no cam. Next video will cam up for sure. But you guys be good, and we will talk to you guys very soon. Please like and subscribe.